I'm MrBlack. The video you're about to watch was originally out on this channel a few months ago, but was removed by YouTube because they cited that identifiable information regarding a person was shown that was not already publicly available. But the problem is they highlighted a portion of my video that came from a document released online by the courts. This is freedom of information, which is in fact public. I was given the chance to edit the video in the YouTube editor, and I blurred out the addresses listed on that document. To be honest, I thought it was a fair call, and had I seen those addresses initially, I would have censored them myself before releasing the video. So, fair enough. But after I edited this part of the video, YouTube still wasn't happy. Next, they went on to highlight a public prison document that was shown in the video that listed the bad guy in this story's birthday and prison P.O. box. They called this bullying and harassment. Then they proceeded to permanently delete the video, which is completely and utterly unwarranted. So I've put in a series of edits that fully blacks this information out, even though it's public. I've also added an update at the end of the story. Now, for many of you new subscribers, this will be a brand new video. For OGs of OneCrimeTV, I would greatly appreciate the rewatch, as watch time is what builds the channel the most. But let me clearly state, no one should harass, contact, or threaten anyone mentioned in this video. Everything shown or stated is public information as well as my own opinion. This video is for educational purposes only. In the event that this story is removed again, you can find it on my Facebook or Spotify, where our videos are also uploaded now. In fact, why not just follow OneCrimeTV on all platforms? You never know when YouTube might decide to pull the plug. So X, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, it's all OneCrimeTV. If you've got one of those, please join me. In fact, on my Patreon, there's a story YouTube has banned for no reason from my old channel, The Disturbing Truth, that is probably the most important documentary I've ever made. It's certainly one that every parent should see, and it's only available on Patreon. The next time you hear from me after this video, we will likely have hit 100,000 subscribers. And yes, there will be another full documentary before the end of this month. Thank you all so much for supporting a channel that will never, ever sympathize with heartless, cruel monsters that steal innocent lives. If this is your first time here and you prefer robot reporting, click off. This is not a short-form channel with scrollable content. We dive in deep. OneCrimeTV will always be a long-form podcast with a cinematic visual tone that favors victims first. Like many of you, my empathy is reserved only for the innocent. Thank you. Leading up to 2020, 19-year-old Gabriel Walton from my hometown of Jonesboro, Arkansas, had his eyes set on becoming the next big TikTok star. His uploads featured him lip-syncing, miming, smiling, and even, well, that's about it. Was Gabriel talented? If he was, you wouldn't know based on the content he posted. While he uploaded hundreds of videos, not once did he use his own voice or display anything original in them. So if what he did was art, I couldn't tell. Especially since I'm just a boomer and modern art is subjective. But I'll tell you who did like Gabriel Walton. The ladies.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gabriel Walton.
You don't gotta fall for a shiny ring.
Will it be a yes or a no?
The first pretty guy you see. Never bet it all, you're everything. Careful when he asks, will you marry me? Sometimes a dream can be a scary thing.
He even went as far as using his over 28,000 followers to get girls to message him. Many of these ladies were hopeful that this beautiful bad boy with the starry eyes and killer smile might just choose them. But what they didn't know was that Gabriel Walton already had secrets.
I would totally run away with you, Gabriel. You would never hurt me, though. Right?
On August 29th of 2020, a man reported a startling discovery at 3913 Kaye Lane in Jonesboro. The body of 57-year-old Ronald Wayne Voyles was found inside his own home, lying dead on the bedroom floor. The man who discovered Mr. Voyles was his own brother. He said he hadn't heard from the victim in 4 days and decided to check on him. After entering the already unlocked house, Ronald was found covered in blood from head to toe, wearing nothing but socks. There were bloodstains and splatter found all over the bedspread, the carpet, the door, multiple walls, and several items in the bedroom he was discovered in. Danny Voyles quickly exited without touching anything and called the Jonesboro Police Department.
Hey guys. 160s 97. Not gonna ask what's going on because I already know. So
It's just a lot of blood. I didn't want to. I don't know.
okay.
It looked like he fell off his bed. He's naked. There's blood on the wall. A lot of blood all on him. He had seizures and had
I've met him before.
Ronnie head.
Has his son been by here recently?
Devin, I don't know.
Stephen.
Been by here lately. I think they came and eat with him here a while back.
So I remember last time I was out here, he wanted him gone, and they were having some issues.
Really? Yeah, they always. But
Okay. Well,
look like, well, we had heard from him about 4 days, and we was up here, and my mama called me. She said, "Well, I ain't heard from him since Wednesday." She said, "You know," so I go by check on him when I'm in Jonesboro.
am I gonna need this?
It don't stink.
Okay. Okay.
But it looked like it's been here a little while. But
Because from the way the call came out, I was like, oh, I'm about to regret this decision. Okay.
But I'd like to know if something funny going on, or he just had something go. I don't know what that.
Well, I mean, you can walk in with me. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, I done been in there.
Well, yeah.
But I ain't moved him in there. I didn't want to.
Wait, front door.
He's right here, back door. I walked up here just like this. Door, garage is up, back door is unlocked. I just walked in and hung it for him.
It was unlocked.
Yeah. Which I
know, but
had my hand all on it. I did on the lad Ben took his medicine. Well, like Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that need be. Hold on, Ben's empty and Wednesday's empty. Well, he did take it Tuesday night.
Okay, so that Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. Damn. $160 to $28.
He had blood on the wall there, but
Yeah.
looked like he was bleeding in the bed pretty bad. You know, he had seizures and all kinds of stuff.
$160 to $28.
Their blood splattered. And their blood way over here.
Yeah.
Like he was up trying to get around.
I'm not going to answer that right now.
I guess the autopsy. Will there be autopsy?
160 dispatch. Go ahead and get me a coroner started and a sergeant. Might want to go ahead and get CID. Table. Hey. There's blood and blood spatter all over this place. All over this bedroom. I don't know. He's covered in so much blood I can't really tell. And I don't want to move him. But he's up against the wall, drenched in blood, so. Okay. 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 Alright.
See anything? A lot of bleeding, no, isn't it?
I know.
Let's see head up.
I'm not touching anything till a supervisor gets here. So hey, did anybody walk around through there barefoot? No. Okay. Sarge, it's the last house on the list. Do what? Got footprints here, but I can't tell if they're... I mean, they stop right there though, so...
The door locked, or
He said the door was unlocked and the garage was open.
is that person too?
Yeah. That's... I mean, there's all over the walls and all over this wall over here. I mean, that don't look like just died.
Let's go.
I mean, I looked around as much as I could and I don't see anything, but...
No, there ain't going in there.
Yeah. Last time I was out here, him and his sons were having a whole lot of problems. But they don't know the last time he was out here. But he took his pills Tuesday morning and didn't take them Tuesday night.
Hey, we're gonna need y'all's expertise out here on Kaye Lane off Oakland. We got our call to an unattended dead. But I don't know what has happened to this guy. There is blood everywhere. Was sweater on the wall. There's bloody footprints all through the bedroom. He's laying completely naked other than his socks, and he is covered in blood. So, how old is he? 40s, 50s?
57.
57? What? Wait. It's 39 y'all's 39.
3913K.
Yeah, it's off Tate Forest Hill behind Sister Baptist, Crane, Oakland, and
Go all the way back to the left.
KAY. We just didn't want to go on the road. Oh, resident so. Alright. Yeah, I'll text it to you right quick. Alright, I'm back.
I tiptoed around the blood to be able to see what I could, and then was like, I'm good. Who are y'all to him?
I'm his brother.
His brother? Okay. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
See anything different or anything? Besides any foul play?
I can't make that determination. If we're having criminal investigation come out, and them and the coroner can make that decision.
Yeah.
He walked in there and stopped. So he was like, let's call. Oh, I'm good. I'm good with calling. Let's call. So 160 dispatch.
We didn't want to go. That's what let's see. I came out. Had to see your fade timer. I mean, we didn't want to go up in case something did happen. And you're asking her, we don't want to mess anything up. And so that's their expertise. They can come handle that. And
Right.
I mean, he could have a head injury and had blood out from that. Could have had a GI bleed. Could have had anything.
Yeah.
There's just
He had a lot of heart problems.
There's just a lot of blood in there, and it's obviously he was up for a while with that bleed because there's footprints everywhere inside that bedroom. So I don't know what it was. So we're not gonna speculate. We're not gonna mess anything up. So
Right.
we'll let them come handle it. All right?
Yes.
The death was obviously ruled a homicide. Mr. Voyles had been stabbed or slashed 9 times in total, with 2 of the wounds later deemed fatal by a medical examiner. One was 4 inches deep on the left side of his neck, which severed both his carotid artery and his jugular vein. The second fatal injury was a 6-inch wound found on the front of his throat. Additional wounds were found on Ronald's shoulder, chest, back, thigh, and forearm. It was another horrible crime for Jonesboro, Arkansas, a town that, less than a year prior, saw 50-year-old Alyssa Reynolds murdered in her own home in a similar manner, a crime we previously covered right here on this channel. Not only did these 2 crimes occur less than 2 miles from each other, but much like Alyssa's case, Ronald Voyles had been deceased for a few days before he was found.
Happening now, a weekend murder under investigation by Jonesboro Police. This after the department got a call about an unattended death. We now have some new information to share with you about that investigation. Miranda Reynolds joins us now live. So Miranda, what do we know now?
Amanda, JPD did release the name of that victim in the homicide investigation. It is 57-year-old Ronald Voyles. Take a look at your screen. It happened on the 3900 block of Kaye Lane in Jonesboro. Police received a call about an unattended death Saturday afternoon. According to the incident report, Ronald's brother stated he was inside and dead. Police also showed that the crime could have happened any time between Tuesday and Saturday. And while this is an ongoing investigation, Jonesboro Police encourage anyone with information to call.
Police had no suspects. And even though they had bare footprints in the blood spatter found at Kaye Lane, what good were they without a foot to match them to? At this point, there wasn't a clear direction for authorities to steer their investigation into. But there was a stone that cops could turn over in hopes of finding information that might lead them down the right path. Ronald had a son named Josh Mitchell. Josh wasn't his biological son, but rather Ronnie's ex's son. Josh had lived with Ronald up until September of 2019. He was interviewed, but he wasn't being treated as a suspect. After all, he couldn't have committed the murder because he was in jail when the crime occurred. In fact, Josh Mitchell had been in jail since January, but authorities hoped he might shed some light on who Ronald hung around with.
Basically, we're just trying to figure out any avenue as to why this might have happened. So we're just kind of reaching out to everybody that knew him, and I know you lived with him up until like September last year, and probably knew some of the things that he was into, that he would do, maybe people he hung with at that time.
Man, you know, it was people that I didn't know, people that I did know. Like my dad did drugs.
Yes, sir.
So there was some people company that he had over there that I didn't like. That I thought he knew. Yeah, I knew he shouldn't have been hanging on.
Yes, sir.
Like sometimes, man, my dad got into it a lot, and he called the police on me over there while I was on federal probation.
Yes.
Had me removed from his house.
Yes, sir.
So that was like the last time I've been over there.
Yes, sir. That was like September last year.
Yeah, Jonesboro Police came.
Yes, sir.
And,
yes.
So there's some things my dad would do, like calling police on me just because I had his vehicle. I was working on his truck.
Right.
Sometimes he would piss people off. And
could you tell us who he was close to? I mean, he got any friends that work on most of the time?
Okay.
Like I said, one time it was a light-skinned dude come over there. He had his car, and I was wondering why
he had Ronnie's car.
He has Ronnie's car. Then I know he was talking sometime about a black dude. To be honest with you, my dad he was gay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
we've gathered through this a lot of times.
I'd rather be honest, tell you everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if my brother Devin knew it about my dad being like that or not. I know he probably did, but Devin and my dad and Devin didn't too much come over there at all.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it was a shock to me when I heard about it, but
Did he ever have guys over when you were living with him
no,
that you knew of? I mean, that
like
would he only get with guys like if he was high or on crack or meth or whatnot? I mean, normally the everyday routine was he
like whatever day he get his check, first, third, whatever. I know he got like 150 hydros, 150 bars. I don't know, like on the field for something like that. And I think
that were his prescriptions.
yeah, prescription drugs. Here you go sell them and go get the drugs, whatever. But I don't know who he could possibly. I haven't been over there in so long. Or like I don't know who he could possibly be, because he's fooling around with too many, different people,
Right.
And then, like,
What about when he was at his house? Who would come to the house? Pretty regular. No, hell, not every day, but I mean, you might see him once a week.
like
Somebody he was comfortable with, and he would just let, come on in, instead of meeting their ass at the door, because he didn't know him.
my sister told me, it says y'all found Dad butt naked or something.
Yes, sir.
I believe it was like, man, had to been some funny stuff going on,
Like what?
like some gags, like
Okay.
yeah,
You don't think there'd been a girl in the house with him?
no.
Okay.
He on
He ain't too much. He wasn't too much worried about no female.
Let me ask you this: when he would get with a guy, was it a guy from Jonesboro, or usually a guy from around Wynn, or
Well,
what?
people got from a guy named Jonathan from Wynn. They say he was dealing with a guy named Jonathan.
Because we've heard the name Jonathan Mays come up.
That's it. That's it.
he's staying in Cherry Valley.
No, he's in Wynn.
He's in Wynn. Okay, all right.
The Jonathan Mays is the guy he's known.
I heard he was going down there dealing with Dad, but I've been locked up.
Okay. Right.
Wait,
Would your dad pick him up and bring him home, or would he?
yeah, he was go to Wynn and pick him up.
And bring him back to his
Yeah. And this was what I was thinking. Like, y'all found Dad butt naked. Because I've been by there plenty of times. I knock on the door. I look up in the garage. His vehicle's there. I go knock on the windows. I go knock on his. Sometimes he sleep hard because he on so much medication.
Okay.
I'll be on the window, his window, and he'll wake up and he'll answer the door. But sometimes if he got something going on there, if he high, he's very paranoid. He don't want. If you sitting in there in that kitchen, at that kitchen table right there, he thinks somebody can see through the garage thing. Like, he wants you to move over there by the piano tree, like right over there. He very paranoid. He wants you to make sure you check them doors every 5 minutes. Make sure they lock.
Okay.
He's that paranoid.
Right. Just when he's high, though, right?
Yeah, just when he's high. Like,
Okay.
So for Danny Joe to show up and the garage door to be up, that's unusual.
for who to show up?
Danny Joe. Danny.
In the garage door to be up?
Yeah. That wouldn't be.
That's
Yeah,
not
that's
normal.
unusual. No.
Okay.
Dad had somebody in there that is locked down.
And
Sure.
this is going to be a really crazy, stupid question you may or may not know. As far as your dad's underwear selection, you know if he always wore tidy whities or
Tidy whities. He walk around the house.
He didn't have colored
But
underwear.
no.
Red, green, blue.
No, all white.
Okay.
All
And you know
white.
what size underwear he wore? I know it sounds
It's
stupid.
saggy in the back. It always sag in the back.
So big. They were bigger.
Big.
So he wouldn't wear medium size underwear.
Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no.
So the Jonathan Mays guy was one doing the yard work for him.
He wasn't doing no job.
Well, I mean that's
Yeah.
what the premise him coming over.
That's what your mom know,
He
right?
would tell my mom to try to throw my mom off.
Yeah, I'm throwing it out
He
there.
had been, if he was going around my dad like that, they had something going on.
Right.
My dad would, like I say, if he had been, my dad had been giving him money and getting high with him
Okay.
Okay.
for him to go over there.
He's 5, so he's
My
5'7", 5'8".
Well, he wasn't doing no yard work. My dad have a man to come do his yard work, business license.
Yeah. A legit yard
A
dude.
legit yard man
Yeah.
to come do his yard work.
I can tell. I
Yeah,
mean,
he-
his flower beds are done.
He pay that man.
The yard's done,
If he don't pay his phone bill, no, he pay that damn yard man faithfully,
regardless.
regardless.
Okay.
And that yard man, he can be up 3 or 4 months behind. My dad will pay that man all what he owe him for that yard work.
Okay. You referenced earlier, like every now and then, he owed Deuce some money.
Yeah, if he get drugs, he was buying drugs from some guy in Jonesboro too, but I don't know the dude's name. I went with there at one time, and I don't know Jonesboro like that, and I forgot where we went, but he said he just met the guy or something, and the guy sold there some drugs, and I ain't never seen some black skin dude. Damn, what was this dude's name? It was some dude he was getting drugs from that came over there a lot. There was one time Dad owed him some money, and he kept coming over there when Dad got his check. He kept coming knocking. Dad wouldn't answer the door for shit in the world.
The black dude or white dude?
It was a black guy.
Black dude.
Yeah.
Why'd he drive?
He kept coming in different vehicles. Like Dad told me don't answer, don't look out the window. He knew because the guy kept calling Dad the phone. He just told me don't look out the window, don't even answer the door.
And I don't want to upset you on this, and this is something that you may know, but that was referenced that at some point or another he may have had a kind of a leaning toward kind of kids every now and then.
No, not that I knew of.
Okay. You didn't know these were just
Grown folks. Yeah.
grown, right?
Black. Yes.
Even as you were growing up with him, he was never.
No, I never grew up with him like. I never grew up with him like my sister and Devin did. I never just, man, I started getting close,
Right. Later on, yeah.
Later on in life.
Okay. I don't know if it matters why, but why was Jennifer with him and you weren't?
Which way?
Well, Jennifer grew up with him and you did.
Because he's really not my Bible. Because
Dad?
Yeah.
Okay, he's not Jennifer's either, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he is Jennifer?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Josh Mitchell's interview brought more details to the forefront of the investigation. From this perspective, things certainly began to look a lot different. But going back to the names that Josh brought up, we hear Jonathan Mays being mentioned as a man that Ronald met often and sold drugs with. Josh and Jonathan used to run around together when they were younger. To my knowledge, both of them are from Wynne, Arkansas. Wynne is also where Ronald is from. Jonesboro is about an hour from Wynne. Police were able to get a hold of Jonathan Mays and bring him in for questioning regarding the murder of Ronald Voyles.
Have you ever been to Jonesboro?
Yeah, I've been to Jonesboro before.
Okay. Well, when's the last time you were in Jonesboro?
I don't know. It's been a minute. I've been down here again.
Like a week or two, month or two?
No, probably months. Like about 2 months.
About 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know a guy named Ronnie?
Yep.
Okay.
His daughter called me. Yep.
Who's his daughter?
Jennifer Mitchell.
Okay. Yeah. When did you talk to Jennifer?
I know. I didn't do the right day. I think it was the day before yesterday. Well, Elizabeth told me she wanted to talk to me. I said, go ahead, call her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She called her and she didn't want to get on the phone with me. Yeah. She was like, she said, I need to talk to Jonathan. He might have some information that we need. You know what I'm saying? But like, what is it? Like, my daddy was talking about somebody else he was messing with or some shit. Like, no, but I ain't seen your daddy in a minute. And when I had seen him or whatever, I had cleaned the garage out for him or whatever. I said, on the way back down here, he was like, it was somebody from Jonesboro that he was messing with or whatever, some gay shit or whatever. But he's like, I really love him and all this stuff. And
that's when you talked. Ronnie told you that?
Yeah. This was like, I forgot what day exactly it was. It was like 2 months ago when I went down there. And I ain't seen him since then. But J-Lo had told me, he had called me, but this is like, down there a month after that, she told me, well, they're looking for you, he got some work for you. And I called him, and I called him, he said he's going to come to Wynne, but he didn't come, so I wasn't worried about it anyway.
So the last time you actually physically saw him was 2 months ago?
Probably about 2 months ago.
And you went to the house with him?
Yeah, I went to the house, and I just cleaned out the goddamn garage or whatever. And they took me back, you know what I'm saying?
So you cleaned the carport or the garage?
The garage. He said he needed to clean or miss it, whatever. I cleaned it good.
What, you mind me asking what he paid you for that?
He supposed to pay me, he said, I'm gonna give him a check, this, but I never get paid. He said, I'm gonna give him a check, such. And he was gonna pay me some pills or some shit, some Xanax, kind of like Xanax or whatever. Never got paid, so when he tried to look for me again, I said, nah, your dad didn't pay me last time.
Okay.
And I kept asking, why need it? Like, what's the number? I called him, because they know he didn't pay me either. And then she was like, well, you ain't gonna be paid. I'm gonna tell you, he ain't paying you. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Because I cleaned that whole goddamn garage, and he told me to go pay me. He ain't paid me, so.
Okay.
But, you know.
All right, do you do pills?
I I like the 10
I don't care. That's all
Yeah,
about
I
it.
like them, but I know people like them, and I get them to sell them to them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So would he, I guess, give you or sell you or give you his pills that he got, like prescription pills? Or?
He never do it. So
That's
my first time meeting him.
Okay. Like the first time ever you talked about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was my first time meeting him, like type stuff. And
jump back for a second. You said he talked to you about some dude.
Yeah, it's on the way back to win. You know what I'm saying? Cause
what was he saying about that?
He was like, he had somebody he was messing with a Jonesboro that he loved, like
a guy?
Yeah, a guy.
Black or white, you say? Or say names or anything?
I think he said, no, he said no name, none of that. He was just telling me about it. I told him, Jennifer, that I heard you were gay. I said, I want your daddy to come with me, none of that type of shit, I don't play the gay shit, whatever. He didn't say no name or what color he was.
Okay, and that was about 2 months ago, you think?
When he said that, yeah.
Okay. So he never said the guy's name?
He never said the guy's name, no color, none of that, because I know him. I was like, I know he gay, now he finna say nothing to him. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
You don't roll like him?
Nah, hell no. I don't play that shit. It's a guy on Garfield, when Cosby and Win, I busted the whole goddamn window out trying to play the gay shit with me. Or just saying some gay shit, period, but it was the wrong person, so I don't play that.
So wrong target, right?
Yeah, wrong target.
The last time you saw Ronnie was 2 months ago?
Yes, sir.
And you've not been to Jonesboro since?
No, sir. I swear to God. I swear to God.
That's the only time you've seen him, man.
Yeah, that's the only time I've seen him.
One time?
One time.
So when you were at Ronnie's house, did you ever go in the house?
Yeah, I went
in
in the house.
Okay, where all in the house did you go?
Like the kitchen. I cooked. He was in his room, so I was in the kitchen. I was cooking, cooked the pancakes and stuff. I like to eat pancakes. He said he had the pancakes, so I cooked that. And I slept on the couch in the living room.
Okay.
I remember how it looks, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's where I was at.
So you never went in his bedroom, any bedroom, bathroom?
No. Yeah, I took it back. Yeah, I took a shower. Yep, sure did. I took a shower. Yeah, that was probably the last place I went. I tried to look around a little bit, sneak around. Okay. Like in the living room area, see what I can get, but yeah, he ain't have shit.
So, obviously you know he got killed?
Yeah. Okay. The Jefferson Chicago.
All right. Have you heard or do you know anything about that?
No, sir. I swear to God, no.
Okay. So I'm trying to ask you a flat out question. All right. Yeah. Did you kill him?
No, hell no. No, sir.
I gotta ask.
You can't. Okay. No, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said y'all can do it. I ain't know this part from me. Y'all was coming. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? But I was telling him he can do a gun powder test. I've been to work. I've been staying out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, but I can, whatever I need to do, y'all can do it. We can do like the DNA, all that.
Okay.
Jonathan Mays was totally cooperative with law enforcement, offering to help in any way possible. While he admitted to meeting Ronald once, staying overnight in his house, showering in it, sleeping on the couch, and even casing the residence for something to steal, nothing in his interview was indicative of guilt when it came to the murder. There was another man brought in for questioning by the name of Mr. Combs. His first name wasn't revealed very clearly in the interview, but he also knew Jonathan Mays.
You have any idea what I want to talk to you about?
Probably a four-wheeler.
Hmm?
A four-wheeler?
What do you know about it?
I can't tell the name on exactly who took it, but I mean, I know where it got pinched at. But I would have went from there. I've been trying to find it.
Where did it get picked up at?
At Mike Ellis's.
Okay. Do you know who took it?
I don't. I've been out there like 3 different times, just kind of hanging out and trying to deal with a few every big one, just so I could clear my name. You know what I mean? But I don't know if it's somebody else in Parables got it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let me ask you about another case here. You know a guy named Ronnie? The older white guy? Tell me what happened.
No, you talking about Ronald?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? I mean,
when's the last time you talked to him?
Actually, I talked to him last week.
Last week?
Yeah.
By phone or?
Yeah, he called me.
Okay. You ever been to his house? When was the last time you were there?
At his house, I've been to his apartment, but he, like, He's moving, in the process of moving, I think. I ain't been to the house he moved to.
What's his last name?
Smullins.
Okay. This is another guy another Ronnie that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Older white guy drives a white truck.
I'm trying to think. Right.
Lives down south Jonesboro. You know Cheyenne?
Yeah.
You may have hooked her up with him at the hotel.
Drives a white truck. I'm trying to think.
Or Cadillac.
Honestly, I don't know, Ryan. I mean, if I do, it's put on my mind, but what is it?
We lived in South Jonesboro, about 57 years old. Likes to do a little math, likes to do a little crack.
I'm trying to think.
Drives a older white Chevrolet truck, long wheelbase, or a tan Cadillac.
What's his last name?
Voyles.
Honestly, I don't know him.
If you seen a picture of him, would you recognize?
Maybe.
Who did you hook Cheyenne up with at the hotel?
That was Ronald Smullins.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I introduced him, and that was it. Just
Okay.
like,
You know a guy named Brandon? Her boyfriend? Cheyenne's boyfriend?
mm-hmm. Black guy.
Mm-hmm. You run around him much?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hang on to tape. Let me get this picture, okay?
Can you get a smaller, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Combs clearly had no involvement in this murder. He seemed genuinely unaware of which Ronnie the detective was talking about. As far as he was concerned, he thought he was being questioned about a stolen four-wheeler. Before Mr. Combs' questioning concluded, he briefly mentioned a few people that did actually connect to the murder victim. Those people were Cheyenne Carter and her boyfriend, Brandon Johnson. Mr. Combs mentioned knowing how Brandon is with Cheyenne, and it was alleged that he stalks Cheyenne and puts hands on her. The cops also interviewed Cheyenne. Cheyenne had mentioned something alarming to a patrol officer regarding her boyfriend Brandon. She claimed she came home one night to find blood all over her floor.
Tell me about the night you came home. What happened? What did you see and hear and whatnot?
Well, it was about 1 o'clock a.m. and I opened the door and all the lights cut off, and then I called his name 3 times. And, you know, he's very paranoid and always probably under the influence of something. So he's got, like, he's always in the windows and stuff. You know, paranoid, very overly paranoid. So I figured if I called his name 3 times, he would reacted and said something. So I figured he went home. And then I looked down at the floor after I turned the front room light on. And I see like trail marks of blood in my floor.
Okay.
So I followed it to my bedroom and turned the light on in my bedroom, and I looked everywhere, like everything's scattered everywhere, like very scattered. Like even my clothes was out, took it out of my bags, and I see blood like I see blood everywhere, like even like big, like on, I don't know, everywhere on the floor. And I've even seen a piece of blood clot.
Okay.
I think, but I mean, it was more like a piece of a blood clot, right? Like 2 pieces actually. It could have just been from it being dry, or I don't know.
Sure.
And it took more than the towel to clean all of it up. So I know it was. And then I looked down on the floor and I see his boxers covered in blood and his pants covered in blood, and then his shoe was laying in the bathroom with sticker buds all over him.
Okay.
Like, you know, he ran through some, and they were like wet, and they had blood on them.
Okay.
And then he was laid across the bed.
Okay.
That different, like, with laid across the bed and like, I don't know, acting really weird. And I asked him I just kind of panicked. So what the hell's going on? What happened to you? And then he didn't respond. And then I asked him 3 other times, and he got up and like raged and with his fist balled up and said, "Didn't I tell you to leave me the fuck alone?" And like.
Okay.
Like, he was very bad. Like, for me asking him, like, offended and was under a lot of pressure. And would have hit me if I would have said something, you know, out the way, you know?
Okay.
But he didn't talk until, like, after he calmed down, and then he started helping me clean the mess up, and he finally did sit there, and he kept on saying that some messed up stuff happened. And I mean, I'm thinking, like, did you get, because I've been thinking he's kind of, you know, bisexual or something, by the way he's been acting. And I did drop him off at a gay guy's house before this happened. Me and my homegirl dropped him off at some gay guys. His name's Jordan. I don't know his last name, but this right on Matthews.
Okay.
But he claims that Jordan never answered the door, so he took off walking, and that's when the shit happened.
Okay.
And then he did admit to me, I don't know if it was that same morning or whatever, but in a laughing, joking way, he said he did stab somebody.
Okay.
He did tell me that, and I said, really? And he said I stabbed him in right here or something like that. And I'm like, what for? And I started getting I probably spook him a little bit, like to the point where he don't say nothing else and he don't tell me nothing else. He said that I'm just bullshitting. I wouldn't tell you shit if I did know about me, you know what I'm saying? You'd be the last person I told. But why would he joke around like that? And then tell my neighbor that lives in the apartment next to me that there's a guy they play cards with, and he's an older guy, and he ended up, he was murdered. And on the 29th, told me and her that there was a body found over there close to Red Wolf or whatever, I don't know. All these just didn't throw it off, but ain't nobody else said anything about anything in the murders, but he stayed talking about somebody coming up murdered, you know?
Okay.
I mean, as far as that, I mean, and then he's always carrying a pocket knife.
Okay.
I mean, this is a new thing, is he don't go nowhere without a pocket knife.
Okay.
He went to the neighbor's house and took his pocket knife out of his pocket, put it in the neighbor's windowsill. I don't know if he was trying to intimidate him or whatever, but guess what the neighbors on me, he said, sometimes the guy fears me, but I looked at one pocket knife that I got out of his shoe the other day, 2 days ago. He had it like hidden in his shoe, and his shoe was soaking wet. Again, because he get, I guess, under the influence and starts running from nothing, really nothing. And that's why his shoes be wet for no reason, for a reason. But I showed her, and I said, look at this pocket knife. And she said, don't touch that. She's warning me. I said, girl, I'm going to touch it. Of course, if you don't look, if you don't look, you'll never find out. And it looked like there was some blood inside the pocket knife.
Okay.
Like,
what? This sounds like a stupid question, but why do you think he would be bisexual?
Because he's hanging out with gay people.
Okay.
And then he's infatuated over, like, when me and him, when he tries to, get intimate with me, it's like he's too overly infatuated over, specific things that only gay people would probably do. And then, like, all the people he's been hanging out with, like, friends, has been nothing but gay guys.
So you said he had boxers on the floor. Does he always wear boxers? He wear briefs, boxers, whatever he gets his hands on, what's the preferred underwear?
Well, he wears briefs, but the briefs are like the tighter ones, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, he wears whatever he gets, yeah.
Cheyenne's revelations are highly concerning. Could her boyfriend Brandon Johnson have killed Ronald Voyles on the 28th of August, the night before his body was found? Cops thought Ronald was murdered days earlier, but perhaps he wasn't. Could that be why there was no smell in the house? Authorities have also now brought up the topic of underwear twice. Once when they spoke to Josh in regards to what type Ronald prefers, and again with Cheyenne in regards to Brandon Johnson. Crime scene photos show a pair of blood-soaked boxers, and it seems like they would have been too tight to fit Ronald Voyles. Could these belong to Brandon? After all, one look at his criminal record would very much raise red flags of concern. So was he the murderer? Authorities wouldn't be able to say for sure until they spoke with him directly. And boy did they. Brandon was upset and frantic from the start of the interview. Even before he signed his Miranda waiver form, there was no doubt he looked highly suspicious. Take that and mix it with the details Cheyenne gave, and Brandon was definitely a guilty-looking man. He could barely get himself together to do the interview.
Brandon,
You all right, bro?
Right now.
Huh?
No, I'm not.
All right. Listen, gotta do a couple things before we can talk, okay? But here's the deal, all right? I won't be able to talk to you today, okay? I think there's some stuff we need to cleanse your soul about, okay? And I want to help you do that. We're gonna get straight. Cool? No matter what you tell me today, all right? Nobody's gonna throw rocks at you, all right? Nobody's gonna belittle you, no like that, all right? I gotta get your side on some stuff. Cool? I am Lieutenant Kenny Oldham with the Jonesboro Police Department. Big Kentucky interview today with Brandon Johnson. This is reference case 20-08312. This interview is taking place at the Jonesboro Police Department in criminal investigations.
Before we go into this, I just want to know one thing.
What's that, sir?
Will y'all be able, what I try to come to y'all with, and I'm serious and I mean this.
Yes, sir.
Will y'all be able to help me out to where I can do this?
A couple different things we gotta talk about. First off, all right, why are you so upset right now? Tell me what's running through your mind, because I want to get past that.
Oh, I'm going through so much right now. And, I can't explain. I really can't explain. It's so much.
Well, Brandon, if you don't explain it, we can't help you with anything, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on, we gotta get clear, okay? Can I see your hands real quick? Can you hold your hands out here for me? Just flip them around for me. Let's see, bring them over here. Let me see. How'd you get that cut on your arm? In this cut? Yep.
Where?
That, how'd you get that?
I don't know how did I get this. I know I've seen it right here.
When did you fall?
I caught myself this other day.
The other day? Okay.
All right. Now I was trying to get to that. Like, have I done anything where I hurt somebody or something? No, I wouldn't ever. If I don't tell the truth, I would never in my life hurt nobody. Never hurt nobody. Ever.
We're gonna circle back to that here in a minute, okay?
And I don't got no problem. Like, whatever, I never hurt nobody. No, I never hurt nobody.
Okay, well, we're gonna get a buckle swab here in a minute, okay? We're gonna do that.
I'm with it.
All right. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk to me about, okay? Number one, you saying you never hurt anybody.
No.
All right. Well, you know a girl named Cheyenne Carter?
Yes, I know.
How do you know Cheyenne?
Because I have a child by her.
Okay.
So I have a child.
Okay. So you're going to sit here and tell me you never laid hands on her?
Yes, I have. So.
Okay.
If I know I'm wrong for it, because it's like she made me act or sound like she hurt her. And yes, I have slapped or whatever. And I'm dead for it. I have slapped before.
Okay. And you choked her before?
I haven't choked her where I'm trying to stop her from breathing. We got into it. I might grab her.
Okay.
Cause like she just kept like punching him, not like physically hitting.
Sure. Well, I just want to say that because you're telling me you've never hurt anybody before, but you have.
I have never took nobody's life.
Okay.
I never like seriously hurt nobody. But no,
you never intentionally hurt anybody.
Oh.
Okay. Have you ever accidentally hurt somebody? You ever hurt somebody not meant to? Knocking somebody, trying to get away from them?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I'm going to cut right to the chase, okay? Tell me about a week ago.
A week ago?
You come home covered in blood.
Oh, okay. Okay, with that situation right there, yeah, I always, like, when it comes to it, you can check my MOs, I always run. And sometimes I be real for nothing. But she threatened me not only her. It's like this game going on. People always threaten me with the police in my life. You know what I mean? I haven't done that since I'm running. I'm jumping fences, and I happen to jump this one fence, Okay, when I jumped this one fence, I landed on another fence, and it caught me between the crack of my behind, or whatever. And I didn't want to, just say, why it happened. She even asked if it's so much blood on the floor, or whatever. And all that blood came from me. It was not nobody's blood, sir. Nobody's blood.
Why did you mention stabbing a guy?
No.
Yeah. Why did you mention stabbing a guy?
No.
You don't pull out of nowhere.
No, I did not mention stabbing nobody.
You sure about that?
I would never hurt no.
That's not what I'm saying. Why did you say that?
I don't recall saying nothing like this, sir. Because I haven't stabbed nobody.
And you didn't make the statements. You stabbed an older white guy.
Older white guy?
Oh, are you sure? Listen to me, and here's what I'm asking, Brain, okay? Because basically, as you go through life, people struggle when they make mistakes. Sometimes we hang with the wrong people, all right?
I never hurt nobody. And never will nobody. It's not me. I swear, I'm going to tell the truth. I don't know where it's coming from. I promise you, I never hurt no fucking body. And man, we get into it so much. I'm talking about so much.
So what you're telling me is you cut yourself so bad between your butt crack and your ball sack.
No, I jumped a fence.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So you're bleeding so much, it took 2 towels to clean it up. That's what you're telling me.
It was so much blood, because I was just exhausted. Blood, I didn't even
So you still got a wound down there, what you're telling me?
I should between the
I don't care. You know or you don't?
Yeah, I believe I do.
Okay.
I'm telling you, God, I'm the truth, son. Trust me. I would never hurt nobody.
Brandon is trying to claim that the reason he took off running that day was because he and Cheyenne were fighting, and she threatened to call the police. He furthers his statements by saying that he knew he had a warrant for his arrest, and that because he's black, whenever cops are involved, his first instinct is to run. You see, Brandon was shot in the arm by cops in 2015, and you may think that's a good reason to run from them until you realize that Brandon already had a warrant for his arrest then too. He also had charges for aggravated assault and various drug charges ongoing. While authorities were executing a warrant on a residence they believed he was staying in, he happened to arrive home, and upon pulling his vehicle into the driveway, Brandon proceeded to try and run over the cops in it. This caused them to open fire, hitting him in the arm. Directly after the shooting, Brandon was taken to the hospital before going on the run again. State troopers ended up receiving word on his location, and he led them on a chase across county lines. In the end, they had to deploy spikes to stop the sedan he was driving. The real sad part about this ordeal is that accompanying Brandon Johnson in the vehicle was a 24-year-old woman and a 2-year-old child. Brandon Deshaun Johnson Jr. has some 42 cases on record since 2001, one of which includes charges of aggravated assault and engaging in violent group activity where a gun with a silencer was pointed at someone. He's also been given 2 orders of protection stemming from 2 different women, and he's got several felony charges and convictions of which he should have received a multitude of years in jail for. Yet he was given chance after chance by the legal system in the form of probation. Probation that never worked. I imagine he's used to turning on the waterworks and throwing himself a poor me pity party just to get his way and avoid prison time. The fact is, Brandon Johnson is not the type of person that would never hurt someone. But he is in fact the type of person who the rules do not apply to. I'd even go as far to say that Brandon Johnson exhibits sociopathic behavior patterns. Maybe this stems from heavy drug use. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Either way, it's definitely bad news for anyone he comes in contact with. If you come across an individual like him, you simply must remember how Brandon Johnson acts when confronted by authority and act accordingly. By that, I mean run. I'm not going to play Brandon's whole interview. I do these subtitles largely by hand, and he mumbles a lot of repetitive ramblings. But I will show you this last clip of how he behaved when the cops left the interrogation room.
Please, whoever watching, man, y'all see, look at my hands, y'all. If y'all watching, please look, you can see that I'm not shaking, because I have no words. I know I haven't done nothing. I know I haven't done nothing wrong. Please, y'all. Believe me, please. I would never hurt nobody. I would never, ever hurt no one. Ever. I'm not that type of person. I'm not that type of person to hurt anything.
In the end, Brandon claims he doesn't know anyone named Ronnie, even outside the implication of murder. Cops aren't buying it, but Brandon is sticking to his story. They repeatedly pressure him to take a polygraph, but he refuses because he says he doesn't trust the accuracy of such devices. So I'm going to pass the question off to you, the viewer, the sleuth, the armchair detectives. To what extent, if any, do you believe Brandon Johnson is involved in the murder of Ronnie Voyles? And why? Based on what you've seen, what is your nail in the coffin or complete exoneration when it comes to Brandon? While I give you time to comment down below, since everyone seemed to enjoy the Tracy Might Be Guilty musical interlude that I put in a previous video, here's another one I like to call Triple Negative.
I would never take no one life. Ever, and I mean it. I don't even know he's not. I don't know this until they talk about it.
Mr. Brandon, Brandon Johnson, won't you never not look deep into his eyes? And he wouldn't never not hurt no one. You can't won't believe him because he cried. These ain't just some fake crocodile tears. He's just scared of these nice policemen and women. That's why he's in fear. Is he guilty? Only you can decide. But don't ever not tell him you call the police, 'cause Brandon will run and hide till he finds himself at home, bleeding all out of his choke. But in his defense, he was jumped by a fence. That's why there's red stain in the commode.
Wow, this is crazy. Information all the time. Come on. Thanks so fast to him. I haven't done nothing wrong. I've never done that. I didn't count, but never, ever. But I promise you, y'all can heal me.
As I said before, there's nothing funny about murder, and the victim is certainly not the target of the comical interlude you just heard. I hope it gave you time to comment your theory down below. I'm sure there's going to be various predictions that lean in a multitude of directions, but I'm going to make this easy for you all. No one that you've seen interviewed so far has had a single thing to do with the murder of Ronald Voyles. Not one of them. You see, I caught a very small spark of heat from a small number of people in the comments for mentioning you should always ask for an attorney when speaking to the cops after you've been read your rights and are being treated like a suspect. I reiterate that I'm not talking about answering questions as a witness. I hope no one's foolish enough to ask for a lawyer when being questioned as a witness. In fact, if you're being interviewed solely and like a witness, this would make you look the most guilty. Clearly, we don't want that, do we? I feel like a few people missed that. I think if you're going to challenge me about the things I say, at least get correct that which I said before trying to correct that which I speak of. Of course, I think witnesses and most people should answer questions when being interviewed by police in connection with crimes. If you're innocent, you don't have much to worry about, at least not with general witness-based questions. Answering those could help lead to the bad guy. But when your rights are read to you and you know you didn't do it, the conversation should be dead without an attorney present. Don't get me wrong, good cops protect a lot of people. I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. But good cops are rarely trying to protect a suspect. In fact, they're in pursuit of you. Potentially to protect the public from you. And good cops don't always get it right when their sirens go off in these interviews. In the full hour-plus video, the cops behave as if they're 100% sure that Brandon Johnson murdered Ronald Voyles. But they were wrong. Brandon Johnson is a prime example of someone who's innocent of the crime in question, but looks guilty as all sin. He begged and begged in that weird little face-to-face missionary manipulation monologue state forever. They even had to tell him the camera was off to get him to stop playing up to it. If you ask me, I think he's a terrible guy. Talking about, I'll do anything to be at my son's birthday tomorrow. It's not my fault everyone calls the cops on me. I mean, his latest assault charge is still ongoing last I checked. That's the one involving him, a gun, and another guy. So I'm by no means arguing that Brandon is a good person. I'm sure he isn't, but he's innocent in this case. And there are a lot of reasons that an innocent person can look guilty. They're just not always good reasons. And so the search continued. Authorities drew blanks for a while, offering no updates. But when they began to comb through Ronald's phone in search of clues, they found text messages between him and 19-year-old Gabriel Walton. On August 25th, 4 days before the discovery of the body, Ronald had picked Gabriel up to help him move some stuff. Gabriel is believed to be the last person to see Mr. Voyles alive, and the police had questions for the young budding TikTok creator. Due to the overwhelming evidence, he was quickly arrested and brought in for questioning.
I'm going to throw you it was kind of a weird deal. A while back, all right, we had a situation happen here in Jonesboro, and we've kind of been working on this for a while, and we sent stuff to the crime lab and whatnot. Long story short, let me ask you this. How long have you had your phone number? Years?
No, sir.
How long?
Maybe
a year? 2 years?
Maybe 6 months.
You sure about that?
Yes, sir.
What kind of phone you got, Ron?
I have a Samsung Galaxy.
Where did you get it at?
Walmart.
When did you get it?
I don't want to say maybe August.
Probably August. Of last year? Okay. That phone number come with it? I mean, what?
Whenever
I don't know how this signed. I'm an AT&T guy. So.
Whenever I activated the phone, that's the number that they gave me.
Okay. Does it work on like minutes, kind of a card thing, or is it like a? Are you AT&T or Verizon, or is it just straight talk? Okay. So it does like a card thing. You buy minutes for, basically.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you play like games on it? This may be being stupid right now. I don't know if straight talk works. You like Google stuff on it, Google Maps, whatnot, or does it just do like regular stuff?
Google Maps.
Okay, you can put all that stuff on it?
It's,
okay.
It's a smartphone, right?
Yeah. Okay, all right. Show you what I know now. I'm telling you, times have changed. Sometimes not for the best. You know, iPhones sometimes. All right. Well, back last August, let me do this. I want you to be straight with me today, okay? I don't want you to lie to me today, okay? So I'm not going to lie to you. Detective Luis is here to make sure I don't lie to you. He's going to smack me in the head if I lie to you, okay? So here's what I want to ask you. Okay. That was a situation we had back in August. All right. We go to a house out on Kaye Lane. Okay. We get there, there's a gentleman out there. He's deceased. Okay. Now, we did a lot of background investigation on this guy. His name is Ronnie Voyles. Okay. Come to find out, you knew Ronnie. You guys had met. Okay. Tell me about how you knew Ronnie. He can take his mask off if you want, man. It's up to you guys.
I met him. He gave me a ride one day whenever I was walking. My baby mama was at work, and I didn't have a ride, so he picked me up, gave me a ride.
What was he driving? You remember?
I think it was like a old little pickup truck.
Okay. You know what color it was? If you don't, that's fine. Yes. Don't. Because honestly, best mine up to blue. Yeah, I don't know. Colors die. I'm weird when it gets to that stuff. Okay, so where did he pick you up at?
At the end of South Caraway going. It was, not the end by the police department.
Okay. Far end in there? Okay. Like going toward the links or whatnot, or not the links? Caraway Commons not down that way? Toward Bowling Alley?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was you like at it, bro? I saw the side of the road, or you at the...
walking down the house.
Okay, and he just stopped and picked you up?
Yeah, he pulled over and asked if I needed a ride.
Okay. All right. You care about ride while we're talking? Okay. Was he by himself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is going to, I'm asking you to kind of pick your brain too and go back in time a little bit, because I know being exact may be impossible. You may have one's eidetic memories and whatnot. I do not. But do you remember, you said your baby mom was at work. You remember if it was like during the weekday, weekend, what day of week it might have been on?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. What do you think it might have been?
I'm pretty sure it was during the...
Okay. That's all right, though. Okay. When he picked you up, where'd y'all go?
Ross Dress Fillers.
Okay, and what's there?
That's where my baby mom...
That's where she works, we're doing. During the week.
Is that the new place where Kmart used to be? But like a shopping center?
I'm not sure how long it's been there. But...
Just dressed for less, is that what she said? Yeah. Okay. What's your baby mom name?
Elizabeth Parker.
He drop you off, or he wait for you, or picked you up?
He dropped me.
Dropped you off? Okay. All right. Did you see him after that?
When I returned this.
Okay. When was that?
I want to say maybe almost a week after. He would pick me up to give me a ride.
Okay. Okay. Where did he pick you up at that time?
He picked me up in Bona.
Okay. What's at Bona?
That's where me and my big mama used to stay.
You know what time of day or night that was?
It was around 1 in the afternoon.
Okay. Was that, you know what day that was on?
It's on a Sunday.
Okay. Okay. Where'd y'all go down?
He took me to Walmart, so I get it in Concord.
Okay. All right. Did he buy it or did you buy it? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Then where'd y'all go?
He took me to Bonan, truck mule.
Okay. Did you see him after that?
No. We was supposed to. He said that he had some work that he wanted done that I never...
Okay. Okay. When we start this off, Gabe, I promise you I'm not going to lie to you, okay? And I ask you not to lie to me, okay? Okay. You're not telling me the whole truth right now. Now, here's the problem that I have. Once again, I told you this happened back in August. Now, I don't know how much you know about police work or whatnot, but things do not move swiftly in police work. Okay? Things we have get sent to the crime lab, they get sent off to other forensic places, their search warrants will go out on phones and other things like that. Okay? So, that being said, I know you saw him other than that. Okay? There's records of that phone number, your phone number, contacting him. Okay? So, here's what I need, all right? Here's one thing I want to tell you that a lot of people didn't know about Ronnie Voyles, okay, going in, all right? A lot of people thought Ronnie Voyles was just an older guy that's around helping people, all right? And on the offset of this investigation, that's the thought that we had. The more we talked about, we found out, we knew that Ronnie was into other things, okay? Like Ronnie was bisexual, okay? And Ronnie liked men more than anything else, okay? Now, I say that to say this, okay? I know you guys were together. I know you'd been to his house. Now, I want to ask you this. And once again, some of this is none of my business, and I'm not trying to pry on you because under normal circumstances, I don't care, okay? Were you ever with him sexually?
No.
Okay. Did he ever try to get with you sexually? Are you sure? Okay. Here's one of the other things, problems that. When did you go to his house? How many times had you gone to his house?
I mean, I've only been once.
One time.
That's it.
Okay. Tell me about that day, and I want you to do me a favor. I want you to be very detailed because what you're about to tell me makes a giant difference in what happens here forward.
That's it.
Okay. I promise you're not going to tell us anything that's going to shock us. Okay. I've done this for 23 years. Okay. I promise. I've not seen and heard everything, but brother, I promise you, I've heard a lot. Okay. You're not going to shock my conscience. Nobody's going to throw stones at you or call you anything or bad or good or nothing like that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I understand that bad things happen to people sometimes, and we have to take action sometimes to get out of situations. We get that.
Yes.
Okay. You follow what I'm telling you? Okay. So I want you to tell me what really happened that day. Be brutally honest with me. Okay. What happened?
He picked me up one day he said he needed help moving some stuff.
Okay.
And so whenever he picked me up, he took me and we went to his place.
Okay.
And whenever he picked me up in a little car that he was driving, he wasn't driving his truck that did. He was in the car. And whenever we got there, we went in and he asked if I wanted something to drink.
Okay.
And I said, sure. I sat there at the table for a minute, smoking a cigarette.
Okay.
And he sat there talking for a second, talking about that he wanted a shelf in the bedroom moved and that he was thinking about moving some other furniture. And I was saying, all right. He's saying that he'd pay and all that. And then he started talking about being bisexual and all that.
Okay.
Talking about watching. He asked if I minded. He went in there and watched some porn and all that. And in the living room.
Okay.
And I saw that they did bother and all that. Told that I wasn't bisexual.
Okay.
And that I was into men.
Okay.
And he said that he understood that. And all right, and he just kept trying to throw a little hints like how I was taking it.
Can make our moves on you, if you will, kind of in a weird sort of way. I mean, yeah.
Sexual hands. Yeah, and he started smoking. I'm not really sure what he mixed. He was smoking, but he has something else mixed.
Mixed with it? Okay.
And he asked if I wanted it, and I told him no, only because there's something else mixed in it.
About.
True. Then he asked if I wanted some hydros and all that, and I did take a hydro.
Okay.
And then he said that he was gonna be getting some more later that week and all that. And then he said that if I wanted that, he'd throw me some and all that he sells.
Okay.
And I told him all right.
Okay.
And he kept on about watching and all that.
Okay.
And I had told him that I was going to step out to make a phone call real quick. Okay. And I ended up just walking off with him. Okay. I did tell a few people about how he was throwing hands and all that, and I did tell a few guys about him having hydros and all that.
Okay.
And where he was staying.
Okay. Gabe, here, and I appreciate your honesty there. I really do. Here's the thing. All right. I need you to be 100% honest with me. Okay. And I know what reliever that around to pay. Okay. Trust me, I know it is. All right. But I want you to be 100% honest with me about this, because the day that you left, that particular day when you left, all right, and you're going to tell me no in the beginning, and you're going to be lying to me. So I want you to be honest with me. That particular day that you left, after all that happened, Ronnie Voyles is dead in that house, or dying in that house. He might have been dead at that very moment. Okay. So what I need to know is, or I want you to be honest with me about, is what happened to the point that he caused you to grab your knife and stab him. Shoot me straight, man. Don't lie to me. What happened?
Whenever he kept taunting and some all, but
Okay.
I did have, after I took that hydro and everything, we sat there and I started smoking some more cigarettes and all that, just trying to push past everything he was saying, trying to make conversation.
So cigarettes or the weed with me?
Cigarettes.
Just cigarettes, okay.
And I was trying to figure out what he wanted moved and everything. I baby mama was at work that night, and she tried calling me, and I sent her a message of his address and told her that I felt like something was off.
Okay.
Got that angle.
Okay.
And she sat there, tried calling and all that, and he was still asking. He kept trying to see who was calling all that.
Yep.
And whenever I realized it, there was something like, he said that it was nothing, but it looked like something just always been on the bottom of the drink. And anger, I guess, started building up right then. I asked him again what he wanted moved and all that, and he pointed at a shelf back there in the bedroom, so I went back there. And I started trying to figure out how I was going to move the shelf and all that. And he walked in there completely naked.
Okay.
And whenever I was trying to go by and all that, I would try to push past him and he tried pushing me, and we got into a little physical altercation. And my knife wasn't pulled out or anything at the time.
Okay.
And he pushed me back, so I went to go hit him.
Okay.
And after us getting into it for a second, and I'm not going to say that it was completely drugs or anger or anything that I was on shit, but next thing I know, I had my knife in my hand, and I sit there threatening, telling him to move and all that, so I could go.
So he's in between, he's blocking the door, he's in between the door, you're in the bedroom, and he's at the door. Okay, all right.
And he wouldn't move and all that.
Okay.
And I sat there trying to push past him, and I thought maybe just having the knife in my hand would make the move or something.
Okay.
So we sat there maybe for 10 seconds arguing, and then he tried pushing me again, and I always go push him.
Okay.
And I did actually, I stabbed him.
Brad.
On the side of the neck.
Okay, so if you're him, if I'm him in the door,
I went
which side were you?
I had the knife.
Right. So down this side of the neck, on his left.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What happened then?
And after that, I'm not 100% sure. So it's like the next thing that I knew, I was trying to fish him again. Got his back on the other side, and I was fishing them all.
Okay.
And I dropped the knife and everything.
Okay. How many times do you think you may have stabbed him that night?
Twice.
Twice or two different times?
Never. I think 2 different times.
Okay. Like the first time, how many times you think you stabbed him totally?
Like, I remember the first time on his left side.
Okay.
And then pretty sure it's only one more time, and I'm not 100% sure.
Was anybody with you? Gabe, you by yourself, just you and him there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, at least I'm pretty sure of those.
Nobody came with you. I mean, if he had somebody there, you didn't know it, in other words. Okay, so it was just you and him. Okay. So, he's blocking the door completely naked. All right. Did he like grab you, make some moves to try and get you to do anything, or he just, after all the talk, I guess he just thought you'd be filled up, I guess, and ready to go, or what?
That's what I was guessing, because whenever he came in naked, and whenever I tried to go by, he wouldn't.
When he came in naked, what did he say to you? Anything there?
He sat there whenever he came in naked. I asked him I told him what the fuck, and I sat there trying to walk by and all, but that's whenever he just pushed me and all, but
okay.
But I do know that he said that I wasn't the person. That's what really more of my anger came up.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. After you stabbed him in the neck, what happened? Did he fall down? Did he leave the room? Did he move over? What happened?
He was holding his neck over his abdomen.
Okay.
And he used his open arm pushing. And he sat there trying to say something.
Okay. And how did you get past him?
He ended up how we was standing. He was still right there. And I backed up some.
Okay.
Good. At first, I wasn't sure what I did at first.
Okay.
I backed up some.
Okay.
And then he stepped forward, and he wasn't all the way in the doorway again.
Okay.
And then that's whenever he went to go push again.
Okay.
And then I ended up pushing him and everything. I guess that's whenever I really ended up stabbing him again.
Okay.
And he ended up turning to where he's falling towards the wall.
Okay, so y'all kind of almost swap positions in a way? I mean, he's like looking at the door now, and okay, so there's a back to the door, now he's facing the door?
So,
okay, all right.
And he ended up falling.
Okay.
And he wasn't getting up, and I freaked out and ended up getting my stuff and leaving.
Okay. Did you clean up the place?
I picked up some of the stuff that was knocked over.
Okay.
And I know the rag that I used to wash off my hands and everything, I took that.
You say rag, what? Describe that to me.
It was like a dish towel.
How big would you say it is?
Probably about 3 feet, I think.
It's like almost like a bath towel? Kinda, yeah, okay. What color was it?
I'm not sure what color it was.
I think it was white.
It
doesn't sound probably right. When you get out the closet?
No, ever since I thought he was in the bathroom on the counter.
Okay. Right. So what did you wipe down in the house?
I wiped down the cup that I was drinking out of.
Okay.
And
was it there at the bar? When I say the bar, like at the living room, had the little, well, I guess the table was the bar table.
Well, there was a table. Like Ronnie had it in his living room. You know where the piano is? He had a piano in there, and then he had a table that was right off the kitchen. Where if you're sitting at the table, you can see the living room.
Is that where y'all were drinking at?
That's where it was, but whenever I went to the bedroom to look at the shelf, and I want to move it, I had the drink back there with me sitting on.
Well, so you moved it back to the living room? Or back to the kitchen area?
That's just where it was when you went to wipe it on, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Did he get back up and move at any time? Because his bloody footprints are in the hallway, like he's facing you in the living room.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is, let me just ask you this. Was he dead when you left?
No.
Do you think he was dying when you left?
I think so.
Okay. Other than the front at the neck, do you remember stabbing him anywhere else? the back, the sides, anywhere else?
Not that I remember.
Okay. Could you possibly have and just don't recall it?
I could have. Yes.
Okay. You mentioned something about being so mad.
It irritated me that he kept trying to come at me sexually.
Okay.
And then whenever I saw something in my drink, it irritated me.
Okay. So you think you put something in your drink on top of the hydro that you took?
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't know what it was?
What were you drinking? What were you fixing?
Tea.
Just regular tea.
So an alcoholic drink is just tea?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't normally drink tea. I think it was unsweet. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right. What were you wearing that night, do you recall?
The cops proceed to ask Gabriel very specific details about what he was wearing while in Ronald's house on the day of the homicide. The reason I say homicide now instead of murder is because the information Gabriel's divulging is done so in the name of self-defense. And if it was self-defense, this could potentially see Gabriel walk away with no charges or convictions. And even if this interview doesn't lead to a charge of murder, it could lead to a charge of manslaughter. If you don't know, a homicide is simply the killing of a person by another person. The term homicide on its own does not inherently indicate anything criminal. And while manslaughter and murder are both types of homicide, manslaughter is a less culpable charge than murder. And manslaughter is not technically a type of murder since murder implies intent to kill. When we're talking about intent, we're talking about malice. Manslaughter does not carry malice. So what we're looking at so far may be a crime scene that looks like a murder scene, but in the end, through the scope of the full context of the law, may not actually be considered murder. To further matters, if Gabriel can prove self-defense, the location of the incident involving the homicide of Ronald Voyles is not only no longer a murder scene, but also legally not even a crime scene. At least it wouldn't be on Gabriel's part. In fact, if self-defense is proven here, responsibility for any crime would actually lie in the hands of Ronald Voyles for allegedly attacking Gabriel Walton. The problem Gabriel will face is proving that his life was under threat and/or proving that the force he delivered to deal with that threat was actually justified. And another dilemma we see emerging is that a few times now, Gabriel has claimed to not remember important details. This brings us back to the reason that cops are asking Gabriel to recall specific and seemingly insignificant details. I see so many comments from people on interrogation videos questioning why cops ask suspects things they already know the answer to and calling it a complete waste of time. Well, it's not. Firstly, it helps validify confessions when suspects know details only someone who's involved in the crime could know. Hard to recant your confession later when you know something about the crime that was never released publicly. Secondly, selective recollection issues can help sniff out and potentially nullify a fake defense. For instance, Gabriel can remember exactly what clothes he had on, where his glass was, where he got a towel to clean up the blood, where Ronald was standing, where and when he fell, and various other specific details. But when it comes to something important like how he ended up with a knife in his hands, he conveniently doesn't remember. When suspects play the I forgot game specifically with details that might incriminate them, it's a really bad look. How can you remember the unsweetened tea, but not how you ended up with a weapon in your hands that you used to kill someone? They've already established that Gabriel wasn't drinking alcohol, so that's also ruled out as a factor. This is how interrogation questions are designed, to find lies and simulate walls closing in around them. But now detectives are about to bring up the topic of underwear again.
This is going to sound like a stupid question to you, all right? What kind of underwear do you have on?
I'm not 100% sure.
The reason I'm asking you is, and once again, I'm not trying to throw rocks at you, okay? I'm trying to figure out why we saw at the scene what we saw at the scene, okay? What size underwear do you wear? Medium? Okay. You ever wear smalls?
No.
Okay. You wear like tighty whities, or you like a covered boxer brief kind of guy?
Boxer brief.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm trying to think of the name. I have some on right now that would be the same.
Is there a chance your underwear remained at the scene? In other words, did you ever take your clothes off at all while you were there? And if you did, I get it. Once again, I'm not throwing rocks at you. I don't care. all right? But if you took your clothes off the scene, I need to know that because it makes some sense, the stuff we saw. Okay?
I never took
Do you recall seeing a pair of black underwear on the floor there in the bedroom? And once again, I'm not going to be specific and ask you to remember a detail, but
No, not for no.
okay. So your DNA is not going to be on that pair of underwear because I'm going to find out here shortly. So if it was, let me know because you got DNA on file. You know that, right? I mean, obviously you get swabbed before you go to prison or where you do a lot of these things. All right. So, and we're probably going to get a buccal swab from you. When I say buccal swab, it's basically a Q-tip that goes to your mouth when we get slobbers. Basically what it is for DNA and gets sent down, okay? So, and we're going to compare that to the underwear down there, okay? So if it was you, let me know because it's going to save some time. If it wasn't, that's cool. I mean, once again, nobody's throwing rocks at you. Okay. Okay. All right. So, the knife, where's the knife at?
I'm honestly not 100% sure I am.
Where do you think it's at?
I had it with me whenever I went back to my house.
In Dono? Okay.
And I've moved twice since, and I'm not sure because I haven't seen it because I was using it working too.
Okay.
And I'm not sure.
You do understand at this point, it's kind of we need the knife, okay, for comparisons to blood that would be on it, okay? So helping us retrieve that or find that would be really helpful, okay? So if you know where it is and you can take us to it, we would really appreciate it, okay? I mean, so can you help us out on that?
Honestly, last time I seen it was at my house in Bonin. Okay. Right before.
Now, this is a really interesting part of the interrogation. Now, you might be thinking, what does it matter where the knife is and which one he used? He already admitted to killing Ronald. And yeah, while that is true, the reason for the killing is not exactly concrete. Gabriel says it was self-defense, but that doesn't mean it was. I think what's happening here is that the detectives suspect Gabriel used the 2 kitchen knives in Ronald's house to kill him. Remember, the 2 wounds that were inflicted were both 6 inches and 4 inches deep. Looking at the evidence photos, this certainly seems like it might add up. But Gabriel's adamant that it was the one he had on him that he uses for work. And if that's true, it gives him motive for having a potential murder weapon on him inside Ronald's house that doesn't stem from premeditated murder. After all, if he uses that knife for work, and he was in Ronald's house for work, everything could line up in terms of self-defense. But if the kill weapon is in fact one or both of those kitchen knives, that changes everything. It also goes against Gabriel's recollection of events, because he would have needed to exit the room, retrieve those, and then return to the room to kill Ronald Voyles. And this pokes major holes in his self-defense claims. After all, we can see in the evidence photos that everything potentially criminal likely happened in that bedroom. Judging by the blood spatter, Ronald was killed right there in that room. So things don't add up if the kill weapon came from his own kitchen. This is why all these little questions and all this probing really matters. Let me pose a question to you. If you had, for any reason, killed someone with a knife you use for work, what would you do with it after the killing? Would you hide it, get rid of it, or continue to use it for work? Well, I can bet you one thing. You'd almost definitely remember exactly what you did with it.
Okay. Man, did you like throw in the trash or throw in the woods or?
I was using it. I was still using it after all this happened.
Okay.
And I was sitting on our dresser. Me and my baby mama split, and
okay,
I got criminally banned from the house.
Who lives there? Does she still live there?
Before I got arrested, she was.
Okay. Okay. So you think that knife might still be there?
It's true.
Nope.
I have the 2 times I've moved, I haven't seen it and stuff.
Okay. Cool.
It's we can say the description of it. It's like a cross, kind of. It's like a hand knife you can switch blade.
Okay. Does that come out the top or does it come out the side?
The side.
Gabriel Walton's interview never once got heated, and apart from his initial denial, he pretty much stuck to his story the entire time. Before Gabriel left Ronald's house, he wiped off the doorknob with the towel he used to clean the glass he drank tea from. He also claimed he took a phone that Ronald owned and snapped it in half before throwing both it and the towel he used to clean up into the woods. Authorities would later find these items verifying this part of the story. The fact is, Ronald Voyles was killed by Gabriel Walton. But was Ronald murdered, or was Gabriel simply acting in self-defense? The claim is that Ronald tried to force himself on Gabriel, but how can we know if that's true? Maybe we can't, but we can examine the testimony of other people related to this case. We heard from Josh, Ronald's stepson, but Josh's half-sister, Ronald's own daughter, Jennifer Mitchell, also gave some startling information to the police. Something I couldn't find on any other record other than the JPD police affidavit for this case. Jennifer told the police that later in her life she got along well with her father, Ronald Voyles, but she claimed that when she was young, he used to molest her. She said that when she told on her father, she was sent away to an all-girls school. After Jennifer returned, she told her dad that if he tried anything with her, she'd go to the cops, so it's assumed that he never messed with her again. She also stated that before she went to rehab, she used to get high with her father, and he would ask her to find young black males for him to engage in promiscuous activity with. According to her, that's what her dad liked, getting high and sleeping with young black guys. She went on to claim that he wasn't a violent man and would never force himself on someone. And honestly, I'm just blown away by that, because this poor woman whose father intimately violated her, then shipped her away out of sight, out of mind when she spoke out, before later on proceeding to do drugs with her to the point that she needed rehab, is now defending him as non-violent, like he's not a threat. No offense to Jennifer. She's absolutely a victim, and this is what predators like Ronald Voyles do to people like her, his own flesh and blood. I've got nothing but terrible, sad pity for this woman, and I wish she could see the big picture clearly. Jennifer also stated that Jonathan Mays and her father most definitely had a sexual relationship, but she did not believe that Jonathan would be her father's killer. Jennifer agreed to take a polygraph on her testimony, and she passed with no deception detected. From here on out, I will never refer to Ronald Voyles as a victim again. But is Gabriel Walton actually the victim? Is it possible this young man could even be viewed as a hero by some? Well, to that I say, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Based on the affidavit from Jonesboro Police Department, it seems like Gabriel was already in the county jail for other reasons when he was brought in for his interview. And one thing that helped seal his fate in matters involving responsibility for the homicide was testimony from a fellow inmate named Alex Walker.
You had contacted, I think, us through the jail or whatnot for a detective to come talk with you. Right. I think that's how Detective Fox come and talked with you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was in reference to something you had heard in the jail, what somebody had told you back there about a homicide that happened here.
Right.
Can you tell me, in your own words, what you heard, what happened, who told you?
They thought I was sleeping, right? Because Kennedy was above me, and the Walton was like the bunk right beside me. So you know how I'm bottom him and him.
So they're both top bunk.
Yeah, they're telling each other's war stories. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Gabriel Walton was bragging about his little murders, like he done got away with, I heard him say something about pushing some old lady in a house. Now, I don't know if that was Jonesboro or West Memphis, but the Jonesboro one, he was talking about the old man that they beat up or hurt real bad, and I don't think they knew he was dead or something, but he was dead. They killed some old guy, and nobody know who done it, and all that, because I saw that on the news and put it together what he was talking about. And then he starts talking about, well, shoot, my mom kept my girlfriend from telling on me because she was scared to tell on me. Okay. And his mom knows about it, and some girl he was going with know about it. You know, I don't know these fellows. I'm just meeting them while I'm in jail. Sure.
So Gabriel wasn't talking straight to you. He was talking to Kennedy and just overheard him what he was saying.
Right. Because I'm sitting there like, did that boy just really say that?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I love old people. Sure. I'm an old people person, and I just felt like that wasn't right. You know what I mean? I normally mind my business, but when it's something like that.
He said, you say he killed an old guy?
Said they killed him. Okay. Took some stuff out of his house. And see, dude, I'm telling you, he's a serial killer, man. The way he's bragging about the people he killed in West Memphis and bragging about Jonesboro. The only one I really heard him specify Jonesboro was with that 70-something-year-old man.
Okay. he give you more details other than that, or just no? Yeah.
They whooped him. They beat him to death or something like that, and they were just talking about how sad he was looking when he was beating him up and stuff they was doing to him. You know, it's kind of sounded.
Is there somebody with him or he's by himself?
He had somebody with him, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and then all that stuff he's talking about in West Memphis, I know it's at least 3 people I heard talking about in West Memphis, but one that caught me the most was a woman he pushed in a burning house or something.
Okay.
And killed some old woman. But I know he talked about more.
What did Gabriel say about the West Memphis?
About the West Memphis woman, he pushed her into a burning house, and it was like, damn, they're laughing about it. You know what I'm saying?
About the other West Memphis killings or whatnot.
He threw somebody in the Mississippi River or something.
Okay.
Threw somebody like around the Mississippi River area somewhere. He threw him, that killed him somewhere else. They threw him in that Mississippi River. That's the way it's coughing. See, he the type of person that I'd sit there and listen to. He probably do a lot of drugs and then go doing. He's a serial guy, man. I'm telling you. He'd pick out old people and hurt them, man. And that's the type of guy, because he's a punk. You know what I mean? And I've been on these streets a long time.
Yes, sir.
I lived in Virginia for 30 years. I've been on the streets. Not homeless, but street guy.
Sure, yes.
And I'm telling you, man, that dude dangerous when it comes to somebody he can take advantage of, which is old people.
Did he say how he got in connection with the old man, or just
random?
Okay.
Random. That's why I'm saying the dude is dangerous. He's randomly, he's the type, the way he was stealing in jail, he'll look something out, check it out, then go back and do it. You know what I'm saying? He's that type of guy, because he was stealing it from people in jail. I watched him. He would walk around and looking at stuff, and then go back later and steal. Now, then admitted to stealing in there. From one dude, they got to fighting.
Right.
So yeah, dude dangerous, man. I wouldn't put that boy back on the street, man. He's dangerous. Right. Yep, I'm going to tell you, y'all get to that boy's mama and that girl, y'all will get every detail you need, I guarantee you, because y'all can scare them half to death.
Alex Walker's information was more helpful than anyone could have possibly imagined. After all, it led to Gabriel's confession. It also led to Elizabeth Parker, Gabriel's ex-girlfriend and baby mama. When authorities came to her workplace to speak with her, she immediately looked visibly shaken and started tearing up. Gabriel had sent her and her mother a group text that read 3913 Kaye Lane, just in case. That was on the day that Gabriel went to Ronald's house. At the time, he had misspelled the address and no one was quite sure what the text meant. But shortly after sending it, Gabriel deleted the message. Hours later, Gabriel called Elizabeth asking her to come pick him up. It was in the dark of the night and he was hiding in between buildings near the bowling alley. When he got in the vehicle, he was covered in blood. She took him home to her house where they washed his clothes and cleaned him up. According to Elizabeth Parker, Gabriel said he continued to use the knife for a few days before burying it somewhere. When asked why she didn't come forward earlier, she stated that at first she didn't believe Gabriel, and then she saw the news on Facebook. She was ready to report what happened to the police, but then Gabriel's mother talked her out of it. Elizabeth said she was too scared to say anything after that for fear of retaliation from his family. And you know what? I believe her. She claims Gabriel used to beat her while she was pregnant and continued to do so after the baby was born. In fact, in 2022, after he was arrested, she got a protection order against him for fear of her life, claiming she was terrified that he would come looking for her if he got out. In her words, she believed he would hurt anyone. Gabriel is from a town called West Memphis. This is right across the river from Memphis, Tennessee. But West Memphis is actually in Arkansas. Gabriel claims he used to be a member of a gang there called Gangster's Disciples. He told the cops he'd been jumped into the organization at the age of 13. But this isn't all we know about Gabriel Walton. More of the information Alex Walker brought forward looks like it might have been right. In 2018 on Harrisburg Road in Jonesboro, a house was robbed and set on fire. The real devastating part about this case is that the house that was burned down was owned by 76-year-old Marsha Payton. She entered the house while it was ablaze and later died because of it. On or around that same day, a different house about 100 yards away from Marsha Payton's house was also robbed, where various electronics and firearms were stolen. Then the day after the fire, in that same area, in the immediate area of the fire, 3 juvenile suspects were spotted walking. 2 of them fled and 1 was arrested. The young man they detained was searched and he had one of the stolen firearms on him. Of the 2 boys that fled, 1 was ID'd as Gabriel Walton. The year prior, in 2017, Gabriel had been charged with reckless burning stemming from an arson incident at a local junior high school in Jonesboro. Gabriel also threatened a teacher during this altercation, so Gabriel already had a recent history of arson. In connection with the burned down house and Marsha Payton's death, the boys all ended up getting arrested and brought in at some point. When Gabriel's room was later searched, items were found that belonged to the house that had been robbed and burned down. Was Marsha Payton the woman Alex Walker heard Gabriel talking about in jail? Was she the one that Gabriel said he pushed into the fire? That's a good question. One we still don't have answers to. It's also worth noting that after Gabriel's arson incident at the junior high school, he was placed on probation and given 80 hours of community service. While doing his community service on an overpass, he decided to take a little break and start chucking rocks at cars on the highway. After getting caught striking a few of them, he copped charges for that too, but it didn't stop him from fleeing to Alabama to meet a girl he met on Facebook, before being apprehended and brought back to Jonesboro to face 30 days in jail for criminal mischief. But this is by no means where Gabriel's problems began. In fact, during all of this, Gabriel Walton was already a registered sex offender. When he was around the age of 14, he was convicted of second-degree sexual assault on none other than his own grandmother. Still the hero you were hoping for? Amy Powell with the Craighead County Juvenile Department described Gabriel as emotionally disconnected and without remorse for his actions. She also stated that when it came to the fire that caused the death of Marsha Payton, Gabriel told her that the other two guys agreed to take the fall for him. She claimed counseling would likely be of no benefit to him. She also said his behavior became increasingly concerning and continued to escalate during her supervision of him. But Gabriel's mother, Jennifer Walton, made nothing but excuses for her son during the arson trial that left a woman dead. She blamed his behavior on her and her husband's strong religious beliefs and their decision to homeschool Gabriel until roughly the 9th grade. She said her son's smart but makes poor choices and is easily led by his peers. You know, the devil made him do it. Odd how her strong religious beliefs failed to notify authorities when her son admittedly stabbed a man to death and she knew about it. I mean, yeah, Ronald's a predator, but at the time, no one knew that. But she knew her crazy little son diced him up and she didn't do anything about it. Jennifer, dear, that's not very Jesus of you. Then again, no one in this story has much of a Christ-like appeal, do they? Not even Gabriel's father, John Walton. You see, John was arrested less than a year ago in July of 2024 for sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl in the bathroom of his house. The victim was his daughter's friend. Allegedly, John followed her into the bathroom, closed the door, and began his attack until his wife barged in and shoved him into the bathtub. The 13-year-old victim told the wife about it before leaving the property. So Gabriel's mother allegedly saw this happening, stopped the process, then confirmed with the little girl that that is what was happening. But the person that actually reported the crime to the authorities was the 13-year-old little girl's father, not Gabriel's mother. Strong religious beliefs? Holy water would boil should it contact your flesh. Oh, and here's a kicker. John Walton had already been arrested 3 times prior to this, 2 of which were of a sexual nature. So has he got strong religious beliefs too? What kind of religion are we talking about? Spare me the bullshit. They set John Walton's bond at $1 million, meaning he could walk freely if he could come up with $100,000 of it. That's insane. I don't know if he's a flight risk, but he's certainly a child risk. And that kind of risk shouldn't get bond. God, I'm so sick of this shit. Yeah, you probably hurt someone, but we'll give you a chance. How about not a chance in hell? Oh, and here's another one for you. In the case of the burned down house and the death of Marsha Payton, while her death was ruled a homicide, as far as I can see, no one was ever charged for it. Gabriel was pretty much just convicted of arson. He served less than a year inside for it, and the rest was suspended and probation. Which is a real kick in the backsacking crack because Marsha Payton is dead. And last I checked, you can't suspend a death sentence. What a useless excuse for a justice system. Continue to foobar the rules at the expense of everyone else, and we'll just keep making excuses for you. Disgusting. When it comes to the homicide of Ronald Voyles, Gabriel was initially charged with first-degree murder, but later, a jury convicted him of extreme emotional disturbance manslaughter, whatever the that is, so he'll likely get out in around 30 years. But let me tell you, this then 50-year-old maniac will more than likely hurt someone else, someone innocent, because he doesn't care. He didn't know Ronald Voyles was a rotten predator. He just knew he was vulnerable. And that's who guys like Gabriel Walton exploit, the weak and the vulnerable. Those 2 words just happen to describe a fellow monster this time, but in 30 years, it may not. Don't view Gabriel as some kind of Dexter. But there are those who protest and advocate for Gabriel's release and claim self-defense in his name. I don't buy it for a second and you shouldn't either. I agree with Alex Walker. I think Gabriel is a sociopathic serial killer in the making. He's got all the hallmark signs for sociopathy, and it seems like he's not the only one in the family. And just imagine all those girls that followed him on social media that would have just died to have him in their hearts and homes. You see, this is why you monitor your kids' internet activity like a hawk. Because if you don't get in their personal space, if you don't invade their privacy, someone else will, and it won't be for security reasons. Because behind every smile lies a darkness, and it may not be the type of darkness you want lulling your children to sleep. Did Gabriel truly kill others? Did he really push Marsha Payton into the fire? Did he have help killing Ronald Voyles? By the way, Brandon Johnson's pocket knife was tested, but the DNA results returned a negative. And Ronald really was killed days before Brandon was discovered covered in blood, so he was telling the truth. But I still believe Gabriel, or someone that helped him, used the knives in Ronald's kitchen. Also, the bare footprints and blood were seemingly never accounted for either. Not that I could find. Ronald had socks on, so how could they be his? Unless he put his own socks on after he was stabbed up like that. And what about the small bloody boxers that were found? Who'd they belong to? We may not ever know the truth. I bet you were really hoping for and expecting a good guy in this story, weren't you? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but there's certainly a bright side here. A murderous maniac is locked up, and a child predator is dead. You see, sometimes there is no good guy, but that doesn't mean there isn't a good outcome. I'm Mr. Black, and all of this stemmed from just one crime. Since the initial release of this video, Gabriel Walton's father, John Walton, was convicted by a jury and sentenced to 1,032 months in prison. That's 86 years, and I hope it's without parole. It's also not the first time John has been accused of something like this. Apparently, according to a source that knew him, he was kicked out of a church in West Memphis after similar accusations were alleged regarding him and possibly 2 other little girls. This is finally a good ending for bad people.